I wanted to explain to you how to do the journal entries. So for about the first half of the semester, you'll be engaging in regular practice of your writing in 2 different journal entries per week. So in the notes packet, it outlines these journal entries. So as it says here, the point of the journal entries are twofold. You'll be practicing discipline that developing writing skills requires, and you'll also be generating material for possible inclusion in your final portfolio. So here's the specifics. Of course, these journals will be typewritten with the week, the topic for that week, the word count and type of entry listed in the top left-hand corner. And each week will have 2 different types of entries. One will be a revision or a continuation of an in-class activity, and the other one will be an entry of your choice. So you can write anything, 500 words, for that second type of entry. So each week, for the first, like I said, about the first half of the semester, you will do 2 different journal entries per week. One of them is going to be an entry of your choice. You could be working on a story, or you could be revising a poem and then talking about your revision and your notes and stuff. Or maybe you could be analyzing a text that you read for class, or you could just be writing a letter. It could be anything. I just want you to practice your writing for 500 words once a week for the first about half of the semester. The other entry of that week will be a revision of an in-class activity. And what I mean by this is that every week, as you can see on the activities calendar, every week is devoted to a different subject or topic. So week number 1, the writer's experience. Week number 2, voice and point of view. Week number 3, image, right? So each of these subjects, basically elements of the craft, for each of these weeks, you're going to be doing something in class that you start in class, usually on the second class meeting. So if we have twice a week that we meet, so let's say it's a Monday, Wednesday, I'll usually do this activity on the Wednesday because we'll be talking about that element of craft like voice or image in the first class meeting. So that activity for the journal is a revision of an in-class activity that we start based on whatever topic or element of craft that we're working on. Now you can see that every week I've listed what the writing activity is. You won't understand what this means until you come to class. But when I say in another voice, that's the writing activity as it says here due for journal entry week number 2. So you'll come to class on that second class meeting of the week, and I'll give you this writing activity after we've talked about voice, right? You'll get it. Or let's say for week number 3, photo piece, or week number 4, it's hot seat, right? Character hot seat. So you'll get those activities in class, and you'll do a revision or a continuation of what you started in class as one of your journal entries. Remember, the second entry for each week is an entry of your choice. You can continue writing a story. You can revise a line of poetry and then, talk about what it adds to your poem. So what's important is to see that for each journal entry, you tell me the week. So week number 2, week number 3, number 4, the topic for that week. And again, that's listed right here. The writer's experience or voice and point of view or image or a character or a setting, okay? So you put that in the top left-hand corner. The type of entry. Is it this free write, the 500-word free write, or is it this writing activity? All of that goes in the left-hand corner, and then you'll also give me the word count for each of those entries. So you'll tell me maybe it's 502 words, maybe it's 570 words. For the in-class activity, maybe it ends up being, 103 words. You'll just give me the word count. You have an example of what this looks like. It's also in the notes packet. So notice how I put my name, what the week is, week number 2, the writer's experience. That's not what it says on our calendar, but that's what it said on this calendar that I'm using. The word count And then I've said, oh, this is the free write. So I'm just going to write whatever I want. I love writing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. For the other entry, name week number 3. Let's say that's voice. The word count, and you'll say it's a rewrite of the class activity. So it's either going to be the free write as the type or the rewrite of the class activity. And then you'll just go ahead and list that. So you can put each entry on its own page. You can put them on the same page if you want. And again, all of this is outlined in the notes packet, journal entry format and specifications, and you have an example also in the notes packet. And remember, the activities calendar will remind you each week what the writing activity is. And it won't really make sense to you until you come to class, and then you'll know, oh, letter home, I get it. I remember that, what we did in class. So hopefully that will help you do these journal entries. And of course, if you have any questions, you can come to my office and I will be happy to look over what you have and tell you whether you've done them correctly, or I will answer any questions that you have. You can also reach out and email a classmate, or you can post on our discussion board a question, and then the first classmate to answer that question correctly gets extra credit. So I think that's always the best way to ask a question, is to post it to discussion board. That way you give your classmate an opportunity for extra credit, which is great. So again, hope this helps, and let me know if you have any other questions or post it to the discussion board.